Raheem Flowers. And recently, I made a commentary about Charlamagne Tha God on Instagram. And what prompted me to even come out with the whole video instead of just a 15-second little snippet and clip was I had more to say about the topic with Charlamagne and giving himself a donkey of the day because he felt like he had an obligation, he had some sort of inclination to go and basically retract what he said or rephrase what he said about how he felt black women need to go and build their own platform, and then he said there needs to be a platform for women of color. Like, Charlamagne, my brother, I've always known you for being a politically incorrect individual. I even remember when you said that you wanted to dedicate a book or some story that you wanted to just give out your own opinions and thoughts, and you wanted to write this out at one point in time. And now look at you being politically correct. And as I said in that video on Instagram, you told yourself to Beanie Singles, you said to Beans that you're not on that politically correct shit. You've always had an issue with political correctness. You've always emphasized on it for years. I've known about you since the end of 2011, 5 years. And you've always seemed like you were anti-political correctness. But now look at you. Now you're trying to play it safe. Now you're trying to play it cool. When you're on the Brilliant Idiots with Andrew Schultz and you're saying you don't want to make a black woman angry, and you're speaking about the hardship that black women face. I'm not saying that black women didn't have their adversities. No shit. Everybody had their adversities throughout mankind. I mean, especially black people in more contemporary time periods. But, I mean, let's not sit here and act like there isn't some BS transpiring and black women being one of the main culprits and the common factor. I mean, we have these influx of simps like you are doing right now, Charlamagne, and these white daddy ass government enabling the fuckery that has been what black women have been on for the past 4 or 5 decades. All before me, because I'm only 24. And you, Charlamagne, you're 36. So you've seen the transition. You've seen the shift. You've seen the obscenities. You were there. So you've heard the things in the 90s when I was still in the cradle. You've heard the things in the early 2000s when I was in the sandbox. So you should be well familiar with the insults that many black women made towards black men. Heck, I even saw Charlamagne, he had it was an audio clip of an interview being played where Charlamagne was talking to one of those video vixen broads, and he went off on her, and she was just going in talking about how Charlamagne ain't no real man and he ain't gonna really have shit. And Charlamagne said, what are you gonna do once you're through with your body? I mean, you ain't gonna have no longevity, you're not gonna have no equity, was basically what Charlamagne's premise was. Just living off your body alone is not gonna do you any good. But I wish Charlamagne had that train of thought now. And I'm not saying there aren't degrees to Charlamagne having that train of thought, but Charlamagne is too wishy-washy when it comes to the matter of black folks. 1 minute, you want black people to take accountability. Next minute, you want to talk about Black Lives Matter and how America shows that black lives don't matter. Although there is truth to that. Still, Charlamagne, you should know better. I mean, you were labeled one of the biggest coons. You, Tommy Sotomayor, Stephen A. Smith, or David Carroll, or Sheriff Clark, or Kevin Gates of the world, etc. Yeah, and don't you remember when Tariq gave you that backhanded compliment, as he said himself out of his own damn mouth on the Breakfast Club, and then decided to give you that Coon Train Award? But I digress from that point. my point is, Charlamagne, maybe people like you aren't good for black people, as you were saying in the Trevor Noah interview in the Breakfast Club with Trevor Noah. But I don't think it's for the reason a lot of people think it is. We can't have somebody who has a wishy-washy attitude. And I remember when Joe Budden was talking to you, and he said that you were a sellout. You were. I mean, you've already proven that. Charlamagne, you said several times, you said it to your boy Andrew Schultz, you said it to your mans, your Jew, Vlad. You said, I can't wait till I can sell out, because you can't really sell out if you don't buy in, if your product isn't selling. Like something to that effect you were saying. So you encourage the notion of selling out, basically. Now, Charlamagne may try to flip it and say that he's not talking about in terms of principality, but what do you think people are gonna think what do you think people will think you meant when you make statements like that? And you said it several times. You didn't say it just once, you didn't say it just twice. I've heard you say it at least 3-4 times. I mean, look, Charlamagne, I give the brother, I tip my hat to him for what he did with Tommy Lauren in that interview. He conducted himself very well. But I can't get down with certain things Charlamagne does. I mean, he does certain things for shock value, and I think Charlamagne realized that method was deteriorating. So what did he do? Instead, he had to make sure that he pandered to the sisters, because black women, even in the comment section on social media, were saying that Charlamagne was looking like another Tommy Sotomayor, or he was looking like just another coon and another Uncle Tom. I guess Charlamagne, he just couldn't take that backlash. But Charlamagne, you've always prided yourself on not letting shit bother you, brother. But clearly those things did bother you. It bothered you so much in these recent events that transpired that you had to give yourself the donkey of the day. Now, please, I would love to hear Charlamagne give me a very interesting rebuttal on that, because Charlamagne's not a stupid brother. I mean, he even is fixing to come out with a book soon called Black Privilege, which is interesting because he believes that black people have their own privilege in their own right. I mean, if we're talking about from a cultural / social aspect, I can see where he's coming from. From an economical, fuck no. I mean, if somebody says something about black people, you know, even if it's coming from a pious cause, you will have these so-called social justice warriors running, doing the running man to defend black people like they're their own personal shield or barrier. The funny thing is, motherfuckers like them are the barrier to black people. And something that stood out to me when he said about the whole donkey of the day, when he said that basically that black people need to step their shit up, or people who want to be in the Democratic and Liberal Party so they can counteract a Tommy Lauren or something. I've heard somebody mention Lovely T.I., and then, you know, you can talk about Chrissy, or, excuse me, you can talk about some broad named Sin or Cynthia, CYN, and you have these platforms out here like these black feminist pages on YouTube and all over the place, but everything's all discombobulated. I mean, I don't even bother with most of these Negroes and Negresses on the black sector. They're a fucking joke, the majority of them. And honestly, Charlamagne, you looking like a joke with your own rhetoric. That's why I'm like, dude, you are a brilliant idiot. Sir, perfect name. And I'm not even trying to compliment you, but I guess I am giving you a backhanded compliment in a sense because, I mean, Charlamagne, you are very wishy-washy as I just expounded on. But you've managed a way to maintain your success because of, Wendy Williams. Nah, fuck that. Wendell Williams mentored you, and you were able to utilize that. And I'm glad that Charlamagne didn't handle that situation immaturely with Wendell, because he could have did that, but he didn't. I mean, I like how Charlamagne usually conducts himself when he speaks to certain individuals. I mean, even though he does stir it up, but still, he handles his composure. Like Fredro, or even Beanie Singles, or Birdman, even though Master P didn't play those games with his ass. No, he didn't. And Charlamagne's not going to talk to 50. Charlamagne knows who to and who not to say that to, because Charlamagne has always emphasized on Robert Greene and the 48 Laws of Power and self-help books and being strategic instead of being emotional. That's usually what he tends to say. So, Charlamagne, I hope next time you just stick to your guns, because that's what I've always known you for, brother. It's not me trying to shit on you. I'm not trying to denigrate you and say that suddenly now I'm not going to watch The Brilliant Idiots or Breakfast Club because of that action. I'm not going to just switch up. But just know that it is very difficult for me to not be disappointed by that act. And that's really all I'm saying. You didn't do anything wrong initially. What you did wrong was just you retracted your statement and you went against your own belief system to try to pander to a bunch of sensitive ass bras, which is today's black women, and you let those shaming tactics get the better of you.